Green Bay faithful, talking with me on a chase to a Super Bowl. Bands still suck, let me let you know. We're the kids, bringing trophies home. Cheeseheads, me living this. Victory tastes sweeter than licorice. Got that Lamborghini spirit. Opponents just fear it. Y'all can hear it now.
What is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. It's the Matt Ramage Show. We got Jimmy Christensen in the building with popping his Pabst Light. Yeah, but we're going to talk about some stuff. Jaire Alexander got released. Bo Melton switching up, taking some reps at corner. But before we get into all those beautiful topics everyone wants to talk about, big shout out to sponsors of the show, Quick Trip. If you are in Green Bay, or not just Green Bay, if you're in Wisconsin, even
just Green Bay.
Oh, no, just Green Bay, all the other. But Quick Trip's got the hookup. You know what I mean? If you're barbecuing this summer, you need a place to get your burgers, your brats, your cheese, your buns, and all the stuff you need, ice and whatnot. Head on over to Quick Trip and take advantage of their clean bathrooms. I like to go in there sometimes just to, you know what I mean,
just to check it out.
Yeah, just to check. I was gonna say something else, but I'll keep it up. All right, but big shout out to Quick Trip being a great sponsor, and Nicolay Law. If you get injured in an accident, and you need a lawyer that's got your back, you need a law firm that understands you, the common people, not just uppity lawyer folk. These are real lawyers, good lawyers, but they're real people, and they care about you. So if you get hurt in an accident, you need help dealing with the insurance companies, check out nicolaylaw.com, and you find them on social media. Find all that stuff. But what is up, Jimmy? How you doing today?
Dude, I'm thriving. I found out after work today, going back into the house from my office, that apparently I'm camping tonight. So after this, I am sleeping in our yard, which that part sucks. I'm not a camper, but the kids are excited. So I'll drink a couple Pabst Lights so I can sleep tonight, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on vacation, but it's like a staycation, so I'm kind of irritated my wife, so I might end up sleeping in my yard tonight too.
Dude, Des got a little fussy with, not too fussy, a little fussy with me the other day because she's gonna go with like one of her mom friends and like take the kids camping, and the husbands are staying home. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna probably take off work and just drink, I guess. I don't know, like hang out at home, have a couple beers." He's like, "You're gonna take off work when I'm not home?" I'm like, yes. Like, I'm not going to sit here by myself and work. What am I, a psychopath? No, I'm going to enjoy the day. Lay on the couch without kids and a wife. I feel like that's the dream.
Yeah, you have an empty house, you got to take advantage, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen often. You got to get hammered. You got to black out by like 4 p.m.
Yeah. Don't challenge me, dude. I'll do 2 p.m. Don't put a challenge.
Dude, day drinking, that's dude, most day drinking happens when the wife's not around.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my wife can throw them back. She's been sick for a little bit, but she can throw them back. But usually when I'm day drinking, she's not involved. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's talk about some stuff here. First of all, how you been? We haven't talked a couple weeks. What do you think about my overlay over here on the screen?
Slick, dude. I like it. Little Matt Ramage on top. Your little handles on the bottom. Sponsors are covered. Killing it.
Yeah, I just I copied that from someone else. No. With all the apps that you can use today, dude, like even an idiot can like make stuff. Just
that's fair. That's very fair.
Like even an idiot, you can stumble on it. I made this when I was half in a bag, but I think it looks good. Anyways, so let's talk about some Green Bay Packers stuff. And if you're watching live right now, hammer the comments and stuff you want, questions and stuff you want to talk about. But let's talk about the big one. Yeah, Jaire Alexander got released. I think it's like not surprising and surprising at the same time, because like everyone said, it's gonna happen. Like all the people who, the reporters and whatnot, and then they're like, oh, maybe it's not gonna happen, and then it did happen. It's like I was like that Will Ferrell. I'm in a case of emotion.
Oh yeah, I'm in a glass box of emotion. Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It was kind of all over the place. But what are your thoughts? The Packers released in Jaire Alexander. You surprised? You kind of figured it was coming? What's your thoughts?
The initial one, and I have to preface it with like, I wish he was on the team. We got this far into the offseason. I wish he was on the team. I'm happy it's over, so we don't have to wonder like what's going on with Jaire. Like, what is he going to be on the team? Are they going to restructure his deal? Are they going to trade him? Like, best case scenario right now, looking back, hindsight would have been trading him. I guess the report was the Bills that wanted to get him, but they didn't want to take on any of his salary, which I get it, because at that point, like, if you know he's going to probably get cut anyways, then just ride it out and then let him get released, because there's no way, which is the weird part about this, is there's not another team that's going to give him 17 million. Like, he's not going to get that just with his injury history. He can get like maybe a 1 year prove it deal for like 8-9 million. I could potentially see maybe even less than that, but like, that's the part that's confusing to me. So I'm wondering really what that contract looked like. The Packers try to give him to restructure, but I don't know. There's all the hoopla around, like, we didn't draft anyone high. We didn't try to address it in the offseason. Like, we did sign Nate Hobbs. Keyshawn Nixon showed he can play outside at corner. We have Bullard who can go into the slot. And then also Kalen King is coming back for his second season. Micah Robinson, I know they're both not practicing right now. And then you have Carrington Valentine, who got valuable snaps for us. Oh, shout out to Nasita. That's like 45 minutes.
Yeah, shout out to Katie over here.
But yeah, it's one of those things like, do I wish it all worked out and he was on the team and back to old Jaire? Absolutely. He was an all-pro corner. At this point in time, I'm just happy we can move on from this whole, will he be here? Will he not be here? What's going on?
Dude, there wasn't a lot to talk about, though, so like it gave us
That's
something.
true. That's true.
I mean? That's what Aaron Rodgers always was, a gift they kept on giving. Because every offseason you had something to talk about as a podcaster. But
should we do a deep dive on who Rodgers is married to for the next hour?
I don't know. Dude, it's funny with the Rodgers being married thing. They're like, oh, all day on Instagram and everywhere. Like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is married. Like, yeah, I knew that like a month ago. And not because like I saw pictures. He's wearing a wedding ring.
I know, it's not news.
Like he was doing stuff. He was golfing. He was out and about. You see him like on pictures on social media. Like, yeah, people are like, oh, he's wearing a wedding ring. Yeah, it's not like he didn't just decide, hey, I'll just put a wedding ring on. Like, I don't really care who people marry and who they're dating. I don't get too worked up on it. But good for him. Glad it's, hopefully he's happy. But anyways, back to Jaire Alexander. And then we'll maybe talk. We'll deep dive into that.
Who knows, dude?
Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know. I don't know.
It's actually Sydney Sweeney. He bought her soap and they really kicked it off.
She was selling her bathwater or something at once upon a time. But but Jaire Alexander, I think, I'm not real like stunned because like you said, everyone knows. So it's like not even worth even talking about. Everyone knows he was hurt. The money was too big for the production on the field. Like when he's playing, he's a beast. Yeah. Obviously, I love Jaire Alexander. I love everything about it, his swagger and all that stuff. I feel like he gets a bad rap. A lot of times people take too much into stuff that has happened. But I think it was just something that had to happen. But so the next I want to talk about, where do you think he's going to go? And then we'll figure out how we're gonna replace him, because we have all the answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Goody or LaFleur are watching right now. Like, about time. We had no idea what was gonna happen, but now we got
it covered.
Drunks. But before we get into that, let's give a little shout out here. Yes, we should. You called him going to the Steelers, Jimmy. So you did call Rodgers going to the Steelers.
I feel like
I'll
take credit.
But I'm just saying, when was it though? Because
give it all to me. 6 years ago, I knew it. I predicted 2025. No, I feel like everyone.
You said you called.
I'll take it, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will put that on my.
Not many
resume.
people give you credit in the comments, so I had to throw it up here.
No one does. It's a weird. I don't know how to react right now. It's a weird.
Now you're backpedaling it. I was trying to give you a shout out there, Jimmy. But but yeah, I think everyone kind of knew that seemed like. Anyways, back to what was the question I asked? See, this show is all. This is not a perfect. This is not Pack a Day podcast, people.
Where do you think Jaire will go?
Yeah. So where do you think?
I'm assuming the Bills are going to be interested again.
Yeah.
Bring him in. I just hope he doesn't go to an NFC North team. I'm sick of that. The Lions could definitely use him. Because even you have Terrion Arnold, Jaire, and then who did I just get? DJ Reed. But I don't know who to play on the inside for that. So maybe it doesn't make sense. I know the Vikings are a big one, people are saying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like he has to go back and play with not he has to. This is a personal want. him and Lamar play together.
Yep.
They're boys. Go to the Ravens, dude. Make that team maybe get to the Super Bowl. Like if you want to win a ring, it's the Bills, it's the Chiefs, it's the Ravens. Like those are the top 3 teams in my mind that I would think you'd try to go to. And with his connection with Lamar, I know Humphreys is already trying to recruit him. So there's teams interested, and him on the Ravens would be fun. AFC team, we get to see him later on this year. I feel like it'd be a really fun matchup.
Yeah, I think it's
sorry, Miss K saying the Rams. Rams would be good too. They need help in the secondary.
Yeah. So let's throw a couple of these up here. We got Ravens, we got Raiders / Rams, and and the Packers are golden. So we gotta throw that one up there. But yeah, I think Ravens. I think the Ravens would want him. The Ravens would take him. I don't know like what contract he's gonna kind of want, but him and Lamar, that whole thing. I feel like Lamar is gonna be talking to people like, hey, let's bring him in. That's a team that can win. So if he wants a ring and being a good team, that's good. I don't see him going to the Vikings because everyone talks about the Vikings, but I don't think that beef with him and Justin Jefferson. I think it's real. Like, I don't think that they like each other.
Yeah, let's hope
some
that
of
lingers
rivalries
on.
is all competitive. Could you play against each other? But really, they're like, on the offseason hanging out. They don't seem to like each other.
The Milwaukee Bucks had Damian Lillard and Patrick Beverly on the same team for like half a season, and those guys hated each other to the point where they had to like talk before Patrick Beverly came into the building because they're such bad blood, and they did well after that. So maybe that could change, but I'm with you. I don't see the Vikings as a big possibility.
Yeah, I mean, and I know it could work. Like if they wanted him and he was like, that's the only my best option. The professionals, like they could figure it out. I'm sure they sit down, whatever, have a cocktail, everything gets figured out there.
Oh yeah. But a couple Pabst Lights.
You know what I mean? Either love each other at the end or beat the crap out of each other. But I think he's in a better option. I just don't think he'd want to. I think like the Ravens are a better option. Plus the Ravens actually have a quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't know what you have with McCarthy. He might be catching more passes than Justin Jefferson in practice. So
yeah. I want to get to this comment up here. Someone was asking a question, and that's what we are here for, Jimmy, to help people out. The question is, this question is kind of off course, but my daughter and I will be coming down for the first regular season game. Just need to know the concept of tailgating. We've never done it before. Just need some insight. That's a great comment. I appreciate it. Because I was just talking about this because I'm going to the Giants game.
Yep.
November, whatever. We're making plans for that now. And I was like, do they tailgate there? Like they do here? I mean, I assume most franchises tailgate, but I've heard like a lot of people say like different, it's not the same as like in Green Bay. But in Green Bay, we'll get to your question. Tailgating is just everywhere. Like I don't know like what the concept is. I think everyone just get hammered or not if you have, kids. Not everyone does that. But
I mean, it's Wisconsin. They're 14.
No, but like they're everywhere. It's a parking lot. It's the neighborhoods. You can pay. They got VIP. They got a Bart Star tailgate thing going on. There's tailgating just everywhere. Like you can just lock in with someone. I mean, I wouldn't suggest just walking up and drinking everyone's beer and eating their food, but it is welcoming. But like there's like paid ones you can do, and all the food and the beer and the drinks are all free or after you pay. And then, like you say, like if you know people like it in the neighborhood, is something funny, Jimmy?
Right. You're like the food and drinks are all free if you pay.
Well, I'm saying like there's an original fee, whatever it is. You're like
it's like buffet style after that. It just threw me off.
Yeah, it's free if you pay. But yeah, like tailgating is all over the place. You got anything to add to that, Jimbo?
No, I think you're right. Hit up Quick Trip, obviously. You can get your drinks.
Yeah. Hit up Quick Trip.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. It's everywhere you go. Like walking to the stadium, you'll see different tailgates. But especially if you get, honestly, with you is the first time I really like kind of went to a tailgate thing in the actual Lambeau parking lot. Like usually I'm just walking around and just, I don't know, people watching. But going there, it's fun.
That's called stalking.
No, stalking is if you follow specific
one
people.
Specific. Yeah, he's like,
I've watched everyone,
and I have the paperwork.
Yeah. They only saw me 12 times behind one bush. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I think
I get you.
Yeah, that was my problem. Anyways, yeah. I would say go to the Lambeau parking lot. They're so back to back. People are so welcoming. And like you said, some you can pay and have stuff. Some honestly will just hand you things and just be cool with whatever. You got to test it out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, let's get to another one right here. I wasn't paying attention to what Jimmy said, but
I don't even know what I said.
This is from Greg. Hello, Matt from Strawberry Plains, Tennessee. Looking forward to 2025-26 Packers season. The Pack need to step it up and get beyond an opening playoff game. I agree. Let's get back to the football talk there, Jimmy. All right, so what everyone's been, I won't say everyone, but a lot of people I feel like took way out of proportion, especially people on Facebook. I know it's rare that it happens. But Bo Melton.
I've never seen it.
Bo Melton, you're not on Facebook, are you?
I dabble.
Dabble?
Not often. No.
Just to know when people's birthday is and stuff like that.
Barely that. I've almost forgot my sister's birthday like a week ago.
I forgot mine. It's coming up. Anyways,
wait, when is your birthday?
August. I just want to make sure that you're ready. August 27th.
Oh, yeah. A month right after my son's. Yeah, I'll remember that.
There you go. You won't remember. Anyways, yeah, Bo Melton, took some snaps during minicamp at corner, and everyone was like on Instagram, all like all the graphic designers like, Packers release Jaire Alexander. The next day, trying Bo Melton at corner. Like they were like, oh, we have no idea what's going on. That is exactly how most news outlets portrayed it on social media. Packers are screwed. That Bo Melton's is his replacement. He's a wide receiver. Like, no, that's not the case. I mean, they're like Andy Herman said it today. It's more like cross training.
Yeah,
kind of like just in a situation that they might need him. Yeah, they can get him. He's a good special teams player. He's obviously not real high on the wide receiver depth chart, so they're trying to use him like, hey, this is the guy we like. We like how he plays. We like his style. So let's try him at corner, and hopefully we don't need him. But what are your thoughts on that?
Like it's a great move. Like for him career wise, it's a great move. Like if he, even just him being a key special teamer, and he was good on special teams. And so if him going and doing some of these drills with the defense and trying that out can improve that, like that alone kind of locks him down for a roster spot, because we've seen our special teams be absolutely abysmal. So getting someone in there that can actually be a factor on special teams, whether it's as a gunner, kind of that Jeff Janis, like homeboy was one of the best gunners we had for a while. And bring in, if Melton can continue that, and who knows, like he played it before in his career. I think even a little bit in college, LaFleur was saying they moved him to wide receiver. He tried to make a joke because it did not land with the press, but it said like he caught too well, so they moved him wide receiver. But if you can get him in there, and I'm not comparing him. I gotta get ahead of that. I'm not comparing him to Richard Sherman.
Let's get a comparison.
No, Richard Sherman
coming up next. Jimmy's comparison.
He was a wide receiver that went to corner. Turned out to be a great corner. There's examples of players who are at the wide receiver position go to corner and they find a spot. And as someone
Richard Sherman was a wide receiver,
I think in college for a little bit. Yeah, I make things up.
I believe
Iowa Joe will fact check me.
It's like Chat GPT. It's probably right, but maybe not though. You know what I mean? It could be way off.
I'll say it with confidence. No, if you get Bo Melton, he's 5th, 6th wide receiver. Like you might as well try it out. Like even if just providing the depth, because right now we have Kalen King's hurt. Michael Robinson's not really practicing. Jaire's gone, obviously. Nate Hobbs is also in the rehab group. So get someone in there. And you have Jeff Hafley, who's a really good defensive backs coach. And if Bo Melton can learn, it's in his family. His brother's a corner for the Cardinals. Like it's a win-win, honestly. If it doesn't work out, he's still a better special teamer for it. If it works out, you got another cornerback piece. So let homeboy play.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I'm going to interrupt this to add this comment from Tiffany. So my birthday is Sunday, man. I expect a shout out to your favorite Packer fan this Sunday. I mean, let's see. Might be hungover. So happy birthday, Tiffany. I hope it's a good one. Hopefully I remember. I will. I don't forget. And I know it'll be all over Twitter because people love you over there. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's good. You try everyone. I think it's stupid not to. Like, if he's a great special teamer, he's just a guy that you like. He's, we got a lot of depth at wide receiver, like obviously where he's at, respectfully. But so like, why not try to get the most up? And then if something happens like depth wise, because corner they are, let's talk about that. what are your thoughts on the depth that they have at corner right now? Because a lot of people are thinking it's done so. Well, first of all, like before you answer, people act like he played all the games last year. It's like, oh, now we're screwed at corner. Like he didn't really play. I think it was 7 games total, 4 where it was like significant time. But I don't know if that's right. But I feel like they're in a better situation because they added Hobbs. So I feel like they're in a better situation. So what do you think about the corner situation?
It's improved from last year. Even just bringing in Hobbs, and as you said, Jaire wasn't really available that much except on the second half of the season last year. He wasn't available at all. The season before that, he'd struggled with his shoulder injury. And right now you have Hobbs, who, albeit has had his own injury problems, but you have Hobbs, Nixon, and then Carrington Valentine, who have all played significant snaps for the team, especially Nixon. And I say it every time I bring him up, gets too much hate. He's a solid starter. He's not an all-pro. He's not Jaire. He's a solid starter. And then you have Bullard, too, who can come down and play in the nickel. So you have four good corners there. Kalen King's going to have to step up. Michael Robinson, you'll find out. He's a rookie. And then I would not be surprised if we just signed, a D tackle this week, kind of adding to the depth there. I wouldn't be surprised if Goody brings in a journeyman corner and see if it can kind of revitalize his career in a better defense. And then we saw that turn out with Rasul Douglas like 4 years ago, so it's not like this is something that listen, I'll take Rasul back. We need Carrington Valentine's a psychopath. He talks a lot. Rasul Douglas, again, I put this on Twitter. It is one of those things. It was the same situation with Big Dog. I put no other thought in it other than I like him. Dude, and that's why I want him back on the team.
I did you dirty with that graphic. I was thinking that after. For people who don't know, like Jimmy, I'm trying to work out. I'm learning how to make graphics a little bit. So I was testing them out, and so I use a quote of yours, like about Mercedes Lewis. I'd take him back right now, and I just put it, bam, threw it out there. People are like, that guy's a freaking idiot. That guy is old. And we got Tucker Kraft, and we got Musgrave. Obviously, that you're one of the more knowledgeable people I talk to about football. But you're also
dumb people, then, dude.
I know. Hey, I was trying to throw you a bone there. I don't talk to that many people, but I'm like, obviously you're a homer like me, but also, your stuff. But you were just kind of making a comment, and I just took that little bit. I felt like I was like really like, in the media now. Not that those guys. I don't mean media people, but like CBS Sports. That type of media where like they'll take one little clip and they'll like, oh, that's what he said. But and you kind of got roasted for that for a little bit. I was defending you at first, but I got bored.
That's fine. I don't even on Twitter wasn't too bad. I usually I go with it. I'll join in on making fun of me, honestly. If you guys want to.
We got one right here. Someone said if anyone knows about jokes bombing, it's Jimmy.
Yeah, honestly. They're hit or miss, 50-50, but you never know.
That's how it works. So the Packers got some cap room help, right? Larry says $46 million cap space. Oh, hell yeah. I assume that's right. Larry wouldn't lead us wrong. I forget the exact number.
Larry.
Yeah, why wouldn't you trust Larry? Larry knows his stuff. But so the Packers did save some. I'm not a capologist, I just see what people are saying. After June 1st is when they had to do it, right? Where they was the best for them if they're going to do it.
I believe so, but I thought Jaire had a thing in there where it was after June 1st. There was a date where he got $700,000. So I think it cost him a little bit, but I think in the long run, his contract was one that they could get out of pretty easily either way. There's a rumor, not a rumor, but Matt Schneidman said there's a chance that they might take the full dead cap this season, which is $17 million, instead of spreading it out a couple of years. So
because this year, like, what can they do right now? Yeah, you keep saying that. Bring in this, bring in that. Like who? Ramsey, like.
And we see even Larry. Right. Excuse me, I don't know what it is.
You need shotgun that beer. What's going on?
I ate some hobo dinners. We threw them in the fire and I took it out. I think it's killing me right now. Apparently, you're not supposed to eat aluminum foil. Who knew?
You're not supposed to microwave it. I learned that one time.
Really? Have you ever done hobo dinners where like you wrap it all up in aluminum foil and like throw it in the fire?
No, we had like a grate on top.
Oh yeah, we threw those mugs right in the fire. Mistake.
You just throw stuff in the fire, then dig it out. What's going on over there?
You pull it out. Well, like you got like tongs or something, long sticks.
You just put it directly in the fire. Why not?
Yeah, just throw it in
there. A TP type of tray thing hanging there. Nothing, huh? You
I
just
ain't
right into the coals.
Just throw it in there, dude. I'm trying to
It's
cook
like-
that bad boy.
I've
Not
never heard
trying
of people
to.
just throwing stuff right into the fire. Usually
Yeah,
when it goes into the fire, it doesn't come back. Like that's
I have my kids get it out so I don't get burnt.
all right. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, smart. Anyways, cap space. People like even Larry put in there too. Like Hendrickson, having him or COVID 20. Hendrickson, people are talking about TJ Watt. TJ Watt's not, that is very low on my even possible list. It'd be great, it'd be cool. Hendrickson, maybe. We'll see, but I could also just see the Packers doing what the Packers do and sign practice squad people, bring them in and see if they can strike. And then maybe use, because we also have Elton Jenkins holding out because of contract issues. We have Zach Tom that needs to be extended. Quay Walker, we still have to figure out. We didn't pick up his 5th year. So we have to, and they said in a press conference, they want to lock him down long-term. So there's money that's going to have to go there. Devontae Wyatt, we have his 5th year, but we're going to have to extend him if we think he's going to be part of the team in the future. So I really think a lot of that money is just going to be allocated to the players we have on the roster right now.
And that seems to be like that's kind of what they do until they don't. Like they keep all their people until they're like, no, this dude's too old. He might not be this year, he might be next year, but we're getting rid of him today. But I don't see. Like, I saw Aaron Nagler say this today that he didn't think anyone. I think it's on his Packers Daily. Big shout out. I know he needs it.
Yeah, they're struggling.
This is the show that's going to really push me over the edge. That shout out. But he was saying, I doubt they're going to bring in any big time stars. It's going to be camp people. They're going to, might bring some people in if they do, but it's not going to be big names. And I agree with that. Right when he said, I was like, see, we're basically the same human.
Yeah. When I look at him, I'm like, oh, he got that. I mean,
he's way old though. He's way old.
Yeah, nothing like you, young.
I'm in my prime, baby. But yeah, dude, so dude, I want to talk about this too because I made some lists because I was talking about like I started doing like little graphics and stuff because you can do it with ChatGPT and like other apps I've been trying to learn, and so I was gonna do like some top 5 lists, but I was like, I'm so biased. I'm gonna see what ChatGPT says. I thought that'd be clever. Some people didn't like it. They were like, ChatGPT stupid and AIs will take over the world. I'm like, calm down. We're asking top 5, sports stuff. No, it's all right. They're not gonna take over the world doing this. But people got really mad because, and even the ChatGPT list, I agreed with for the most part, except for the Jordy Nelson part. But Don Hudson, Don Hudson. Just talk about this. He's the number 1 wide receiver in Packers history. He's arguably the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. And people are like, well, he played so long ago. Yeah, but he held records for 50 years. And I don't know why this bothered me because I've been arguing with people since then, people commenting different social media.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like you don't have to agree. That's fine. But Don Hudson, like what he did for the league, and they're like, well, he was playing against plumbers. But like he made the position. Like you guys can't, and the list says all time. So people are like, you can't talk about back then. Okay, then don't. But then don't call the list of all time. Because you know what all time means? All of the time. Of all the time they played football. That's when it starts.
That's what it means?
A list. Yeah, I'm just schooling you too.
Yeah, who knew?
You want to make a list of saying since the merger, since the 80s, or since whenever, then do that list. But if you're talking all time, Don Hudson like created the wide receiver position, and he should be respected for it. Like I'm gonna say, people don't have to agree with me because this is America. You could be wrong if you want.
Yeah.
What do you think about who do you think is the number 1 Packers wide receiver?
I mean, I don't know, Jeff Janis. No, no, Don Hudson, you have to put up there. And to your point too, back then, it's not the air raid offense that we saw, especially during like Rodgers' time, and it's going a little bit more passing. I'm not saying it's becoming a run dominant league. We're seeing a little bit of shift now. A lot of that's due to the Lions and the Eagles of the world of just a ground and pound smash mouth football again. We're kind of going back to that a little bit, but in his time too, like it's not like the passing attack was that great. So to have a player to be able to do that just adds to all more why it's so impressive. Have to give it to him. Again, I said on the last show too, I am not a historian. I never got to watch Sharp play, but you have to put him up there. I wouldn't put him number 1, but you have to put him up. Could have been if he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite, always and forever, will be Donald Driver. But
yeah, he wasn't on the list. He actually commented on it. Donald Driver responded on Twitter, and he said, "It's me. I'm number 1."
There we go. That's all I need.
I put it on Facebook. People are like, he didn't say that. He's too humble. I'm like, dude, first of all, he did say it. It's not cocky. He's having fun on social media. So like, and he absolutely should. When you're talking top 5 Packer wide receivers, that list didn't have Mon. So that's kind of why. But it wasn't me. It was ChatGPT. I think I would put Donald Driver above Jordy because they had Jordy on there like at number 4, like Devontae after him. So I didn't agree with the list. That's the thing. This is ChatGPT. I didn't like tweak it and like, oh, I'll just change this and that. No, because it's ChatGPT's list. If it was my list, that's kind of what I was doing because I'm a biased Packer fan. So I was like, I don't want, and at some point I might make my own list.
But even if you look at, and I'm not trying to trash on Jordy Nelson, he was a good wide receiver.
Do it. No, I love Jordy, but I just want to get you in trouble.
My thing is, I think he was one of the biggest wide receivers that you're with Rodgers, whose whole thing was chemistry, timing, be in the right spot where I need you to be. Jordy Nelson did that. And to his credit, again, great receiver. He also benefited from having a ridiculous chemistry with one of the top 3 all-time quarterbacks in the NFL. If you put him on other teams in his prime, like he wouldn't have had those numbers. When you go to Driver, and honestly, even like Greg Jennings, if Greg Jennings stayed with the Packers longer and finished his career there, he'd be up there with the Drivers and be considered one of the top receivers in Packers modern time, I would say.
Absolutely. He was.
I think after the whole debacle with him, Jordy Nelson became, and also Packers fans do love their white receivers. It's a thing like we do. And so I think that boosted him up a little bit. He was a good receiver, but I think we hype him up a little too much of just like he had great chemistry.
Well, he was on a star-studded offense. Like Jordy was. And I ain't taking nothing away from Jordy. I love Jordy Nelson. I think he was great. Like he was just good at getting open. Like I don't know, like they didn't know how fast he was or they just couldn't get his speed down. But it seemed like he was always open. He would just cut it inside and just be gone. Like those sideline passes with Rodgers. You couldn't defend that sideline thing. So I think Jordy deserves all of the love, but I'm just not sure I'd put him top 5. Like I think 6. I don't even know because like I hate to say like when you're talking all time, it's so opinionated because like you can go from Max McGee. There's so many receivers like Lofton. You know what I mean? There's so many guys like 80s that sprinkled in that were fantastic. So it's all opinion based. So that's when the thing about lists is like they're good for engagement. Oh, people will get mad. They'll argue with someone on there for like a week and a half. I know because they're still going
for real. And it's a whole thing too of like to bring. It's not the sport, but to basketball, like the whole Michael LeBron debate, completely different eras, very different players.
Yeah,
like it's all subjective. None of it's fact based. It's just who you like more.
Yeah, and I'll say this because people were saying that, well, Don Hudson couldn't play in today's game. He'd just be an average receiver in today's game. Okay. And let's bring Devontae Adams to back then. And I love Devontae Adams. Yeah. He's definitely in my top 5, right? Yeah. But like back then they clothesline guys. They like murdered them. And like, so like it would be different for them too because the rules weren't there. Like now you can't touch them after 5 yards. Back then they could like punch him in the throat before 5 yards. I mean, there was some rules. You couldn't punch him in the throat literally, but like you see Ray Nitschke would just pick people up and throw them on the ground. Do that now, they'd have him arrested right on the field. So like I think both sides, but yeah, obviously true. Don Hudson, if you put him in today's game, probably ain't gonna do nothing because they're faster. Everyone they got all the professional training. But back then, I think it was hard too because the physicality, like of just you're gonna murder that man across from you, and they would just beat the crap out of you all the way down the field. So I just think Don Hudson deserves his props because like he started the whole thing. They say he invented the wide receiver tree. He had records for over 50 years, and he still has. Yeah. But like he had some major records for over 50 years. Like, how can you just be like, well, that was a long time ago? Well, yeah, I mean, we still talk about Abraham Lincoln. We don't be like, that was forever ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? George Washington.
What do you talk about Abraham Lincoln for?
I don't talk about him. I just watch a documentary though.
Abraham Lincoln?
I watch a documentary on presidents.
I
was
mean
one
this
of
with
them.
the utmost respect. I've never took you as someone who watches documentaries.
Dude, I
on
watched a
former
documentary
presidents.
today on Pee Wee Herman, bro.
HBO Max.
Dude, yeah, it's good too. I'll tell you, dude. Pee Wee Herman, I like Pee Wee Herman. I think he got a bad rap. They with that whole thing. I
Movie
don't.
theater
That's a different
situation.
podcast. That's a different podcast. But he got a bad rap. Shout out to Pee Wee Herman. He ain't no weirdo. I mean, a little bit for that theater thing, but that was, that was an adult theater. That's what I assumed people were doing in those things.
I'm
Anyways,
never going to a movie with you in my life. If you're like, PB Herman's not a weirdo, and I
no,
don't
that
trust
part
you, dude.
is. But like there's allegations after they tried to sandbag him and say that he had child whatever
Yeah,
videos,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was art, and it wasn't. And actually, afterwards, they said it wasn't.
We're going
children.
down
It
a
was
path
just some,
right now.
It was just some sketchy art he had, but it wasn't of kids. Anyways, that's not what this is about. This is a Packers podcast. Shout out to Pee Wee Herman, though. We're off the rails there, Jimmy.
A little bit. I'm offended at Jasmine. She said hi to you and people in the chat, not me. Messed up. Hey, Jasmine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's see what Jasmine's talking about. Just adding to the platform, we are talking to each other on, obviously. There you go. So she's talking. I don't know what I think she's talking to Tiffany there. She's not talking to us. She doesn't care about us. But
She said hey to you.
Oh, did she? I didn't even see it. Let me look. Oh, yeah. No, yep. She's at Tiffany up there. All right, there we go. Everyone's in the building here. Now I see it. But anyway, so let's get back on the Packers stuff. But shout out to Pee Wee. What else we got? The mini camps going on. You
see that
stick out to you?
That bomb today from
Yeah
Love to Mecole Hardman. LaFleur tried to ruin it. LaFleur, stay in your lane. Don't comment on things you don't need to. He said the pass probably wouldn't have gotten off in a real game. I don't care. It's the offseason, dude. I want to enjoy the moment.
Matt LaFleur's like the average commenter on social media. Something good will happen. Like, yeah, well, technically, and they got to just like, so we're done. Because I saw someone post the video of it, and they're like, 73-yard bomb. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that's rare for them. But they're like, 73-yard bomb. I'm like, well, technically, it was 57, and he ran the rest of the way, whatever it was. It's like, dude, just enjoy it. You're looking at the video. Yeah, I know. I thought it was great. I don't take too much from minicamp, OTAs, any of that type of stuff too much, except for like rookies you're looking at, or new players. But any takeaways you see from all the reporting going on from minicamp?
Not too much. Like most of the timeline really has been just people confused on the Bo Melton thing and thinking that the Packers think he's the next Jaire Alexander.
Yeah.
Then you seen Kobe Wooden apparently beefed up, taking those horse steroids, whatever, Jasmine, taking those horse steroids this offseason, getting thick, saying he might be a little more dominant on the inside. Not dominant, little tougher to push around on the inside. There really hasn't been anything crazy. Like, it's nice to see Marshawn Lloyd there. I know last season battled injuries. Already during minicamp, he had some injuries, but he's been back now. Seeing him getting there is good. I'm ready for training camp to where you can see a lot of this stuff of the players showing up. So like the Quay Walkers, especially Elton Jenkins, showing up but not really participating. Quay's might be an injury, or it could just be figuring out the contract stuff that they're going through. But I don't know. You look at, I'm ready for training camp. I don't want to die. I don't want to like read too much into this. Like, we've had some success on offense. They're also not wearing pads, so the offense should win because they're not getting.
Oh yeah, and that's what I never take too much away from it. Like, hopefully, like guys coming off injuries, you kind of watch them and see what they're doing, and like say new players, everyone else. Like
Malik Heath, though, I already decided, and I've said this on podcasts before. If you give that man a chance, Malik Heath he can be a serviceable wide receiver on this team. Every time he's been in a game, the Bears game, he got quality playing time. Eagles game, he made big plays. Minicamp, making plays. Give Malik Heath a chance. He also is a psychopath. You need a psychopath on every side of the ball. He can be the offensive one. Talking trash, hitting people after the whistle a little bit, and we're good.
I thought you were going to go like a little bolder take than that. Like, he's a
Hall of
serviceable
Famer.
wide receiver. Like, no, you got to say he is that dude.
He could be Romeo Dobbs' replacement if he's not on the team next season. He could be Mr. Reliable. He can make the easy, you need a 3rd and 8, I'm your guy. You need a ridiculous sideline catch that I have no business doing. He's your guy.
There you go. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, I got you.
Just a little more oomph, you know what I mean? You know, I learned that. I asked ChatGPT. I was talking to her about like social media stuff. Yeah, it's a her.
I love that you do that. My boss literally calls today, like if she messages me about ChatGPT, she refers to her as my girlfriend because all I do is like, I'll ask AI. She'll help me out.
Dude,
and that is my girlfriend now at work.
I got an update or something because now she like says a lot. She's like, and she's trying to make her sound more real.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. But I asked her something. I forgot what we were talking about now. But I asked her something. Oh no, she said, now it's gone again. You know what I mean? It was there though, Jimmy. No, I forgot.
I got excited. Anyway. You know, ChatGPT.
What were we talking about before that? Let's bring it back.
Malik Heath replacing Dobbs. You said.
Oh no, I asked her because you're talking about like you got to be dramatic with it. And I was talking to ChatGPT one day, and they're about like how to like whatever engaging shit. Mostly, I talk about like titles and you know how to whatever. But she said everything you say has got to be dramatic. I don't do that because I'm not trying to like whatever. She, like that's why they do on ESPN. No one ever says, I think this guy's going to be pretty good. It's like, this guy's probably going to be the best ever, or he's the worst human ever that's ever happened. Like, they go one way or the other because that's what,
and they always yell it.
Works. Not on this show, though.
Either yell it or whisper it. Either way, dramatic tone.
Yeah. Dude, Stephen A does both of those things. He goes, let me tell you something right now, people. That's the greatest guy ever!
That really is what he does.
That's what he like lures you in. You gotta turn the volume up, and all of a sudden he's screaming in your face. I'm just kidding. I don't ever watch him. But
they let him on one UFC, and it was when Conor McGregor faced Cowboy Cerrone, and he afterward he tried to do his normal like ESPN hot take stuff. He got ripped to shreds, and because it's just that you don't do that in the UFC community, like you just don't do it.
Yeah,
and he has never been on one since because he tried to do the dramatic like Cowboy Cerrone's a terrible fighter, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what are we doing right now?" He got kicked off that real fast.
You should show up at the house.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, let's get to this comment. True North Packers fan says, I think Jaden Reed is on the hot seat. I don't know about that.
Joe had one too of Wicks being on the hot seat.
All right. So do you think that Jaden Reed, do you think any of that, what do you think about this wide receiver group? Who's on the hot seat? Is anyone on the hot seat? I don't really see it as like the hot seat. I think that this season is important for a lot of those guys because they have contracts coming up, but I'm not sure hot seat's the right word for it.
I think everyone not named Matthew Golden and Savion Williams are on the hot seat. Like they're for sure going to get 2-3 years. Everyone else, Dobbs, your contract's up after this year. If you even want to be back on the team or this team, like obviously we don't really know what he's fully interested in.
My beer.
But like Dobbs, I think out of a lot of people, he's there because he'll probably get a bigger contract than Wicks. I think Wicks, talent-wise, as everyone in the Packer community says, and even analysts, like he has the talent. He gets open. He's a great man separator. His release is really well, but it goes down to catching the ball. I think Jaden Reed, he started off really hot last season, kind of died down, and he had problems with drops too. But I think because he really can be that true slot, he has a little bit more of a leash there, and he is a second-round pick. But yeah, I would say the Packers showed everyone in that room right now, bringing in, what do they have, like 10 wide receivers right now? Like, and that's the team. Other teams can't do this because of the whole owner situation. That is a team that will absolutely move on from players, no problem. We saw that with Amari Rodgers. Couldn't really get on the field too much on the offense. Fumbles with punts. He was a third-round pick. Wash your hands. Jay Sternberger, I know he was a tight end. He had his own problems. Moved on. Third-round pick. So, like, I think every wide receiver is hot right now.
Yeah, so Larry asks, do we have a true number one? I know we like the room full, but we need a go-to guy. I don't think that they do, but they might have him on the roster. But it might not just be that dude. I think Matthew Golden, the way people are talking about him, I think, obviously, like, we're in the offseason, everyone, I'm not trying to be like extra bias over my regular bias.
ChatGPT said be dramatic. I need a hot take right now.
But I just think Matthew Golden, from everything that people are saying, like when they're watching him, it's not like watching a regular rookie. Like his routes are crisp, like his work ethic is there, like everything that you want out of a young wide receiver is there. So he could be that guy. And also, like, I think like you talk about like guys contract. I mean, they're gonna be some stepping up this year. Everyone knows what it was last year. That whole wide receiver room knows what it is. With all those drops last year, with Jordan Love's injury, the passing game just wasn't at all what they wanted it to be. And everyone's gonna have to step their game up. And they're fighting for the job. So I feel like they're gonna step up. I think this Packers offense could be a lot better this season, and they will be.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that's like not really even a hot take.
Yeah, you would hope. Yeah, you hope the natural improvement.
But I think they're going to be crazy better.
There we go.
Right, is that
the
hot
horse
enough?
noise right there, dude.
Yeah, you got Will.
I hate you. I would say one thing with Golden, I get nervous that Packer fans are going to be, because I don't know if you know this. We like to be dramatic and overreact on everything. And I think we let Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, like two, going to be, as of the way their career started out, if it keeps going down this trajectory, Hall of Fame players. But then you look at like last year, Malik Neighbors, and even, I know he's a tight end, but Brock Bowers. They got a lot of targets, a lot of yards. They were on garbage teams with no run game, no other receivers. You're putting Matthew Golden in a situation now where we're going to rely on Josh Jacobs. We have a room, like we're saying, full of other decent quality starter wide receivers. He's not going to get the same looks, the same targets that those other guys get. But I have a feeling we're going to compare him to like, well, Neighbors did this last season. Brock Bowers got 100 targets.
Oh yeah,
that's not what the Packers offense is going to do. Like I think he's going to be good, and I think he's going to have a solid rookie season. But to put him, I think we already have the expectation of like, he's a first round wide receiver. He's going to put up 1,500 yards and be the new guy.
Yeah.
It's like, let's temper them a little bit.
That's not how Matt LaFleur wants his offense anyways. The reason that it kind of went that way with Rodgers and Devontae, because it was Rodgers and Devontae. So I feel like Matt LaFleur's offense is made for like off the run, throwing the ball, but like throwing it around. I don't think he wants to lock on to something. I mean, if he had a guy, like if Matthew Golden becomes that guy, or if Romeo Dobbs or whoever it is, if they became like just special, he would do that again. But I think how he sees his offense is spreading the ball around, run the ball, not dialing in force. Because a lot of times with the Packers offense, even with Devontae, as good as he was, come playoff time, they try to force it to him a few too many times. It just didn't work, and it hurt us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because,
To Joe's comment, did I say T. Higgins? I thought I said Justin Jefferson. For Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are Hall of Famers. I thought I said Jamar Chase.
No, he's calling you out right here.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Let's play it back. I need a producer. Hey, play that back. I don't have one though.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, if they keep this going how they've had these last few seasons, yes, they will be Hall of Famers. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, so Kevin says Malik Heath and Bo Melton are on the hot seat. I mean, I don't call it the hot seat, but I think we're saying the same thing, so I agree with you. Yeah. Is that everyone is like on almost probation.
See, when you think of hot seat, do you think of like players that were, because to me, Bo Melton and Malik Heath were on their whole career as a hot seat because they're like a Twins roster player. Like to me, it's like the players that had quality time last season going into this year. What do you?
Yeah, and whenever I think of hot seat, I don't even think of players. I think players are kind of always in a hot seat because it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, because if you're like Jamar Chase, you're Justin Jefferson, whatever, top quarterback, like you're not, even having a bad year, you're not in a hot seat. But players, if they have one bad year, then they are. But because, that's how players are. When I think of hot seat, I think coaches, like, they had 4 years on this team. They haven't done, expectations ain't there. Now they're on the hot seat. I just don't really see what players, but because I think players are always, especially those, like you say, like if you're not that star, you're not established, you're not like untradeable, then you're always like, if you don't perform at the top, someone's going to pass you. So like that, I think that's the life of a player.
I have a question. This is going back already to like our first conversation, but with Jaire coming out or like not being on the team anymore, with it being more, his situation wasn't like a locker room problem. Like people want to say like he was a locker room issue. The guys loved him. He is like me, like you, I'm sure, or I don't want to put that on you. Like a lot of people,
no,
you don't get along with your boss, and that's very normal. He gave their boss some headaches, which every worker probably does at some point in time.
No, not me. I love my boss.
Yep, exactly.
They listen. They listen sometimes. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You love your boss, so unlike you and other people, do you think though, like him leaving? Because even Jordan Love today was like, well, he was the guy that believed in me from the jump and was like really supportive. Do you think it's gonna actually not a ripple, but like for a little bit, be like players like, man, they let an all-pro corner go. Yeah, he's been hurt. We're all like, do you think it causes anything with the players, or do you think most of them at this point are just like, it's just business? But they're such a young team. I don't think they've experienced this until right now.
It might be like a learning point for some players that say, hey, if you're not available, I mean, you better get available. No, but I think it shows that everyone is expendable. But I think it's mostly about injury. I'm not sure that Jaire wanted to give up his money willingly.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I don't blame him, when it comes to people with money, I don't interfere. I have an opinion on that. But you have to be on the field. Like if you're making this much money, you're not on the field. It doesn't matter what the skill level is at some point. Because especially when the Packers just went through that David Bakhtiari situation, waiting. Like they're like, what if this is the same type of situation? I don't know his injury and like if he's healed now or whatever. I know that last year they thought he was going to play sometimes and then he didn't. That's why everyone
has to be. It has to be a career ender at this point, right? Like he took another whole season off. Like I don't see him coming back. Any team right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Iowa Joe says Jimmy is the most definitely expendable.
Yeah, in every situation in life, work, my wife, probably show.
I have to pay him to come on this show. I didn't realize how bad he was. But now Iowa Joe opened my eyes. I give him $40 a show. I'm just kidding.
I'm about to invoice you tomorrow.
I don't really. He's like, no,
$40, dude.
No, he's going through all the podcasts, counting every episode. Like,
Well, I didn't know I was getting paid. I'm sorry. Let me back charge you.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't.
What about
What
I'm saying Jesse? I can't, dude.
Okay.
I don't know how to say your last name.
This comment right here.
Yeah.
What do you all take on Watson being ahead of schedule? I think it's great. I just don't want to rush him back. I think the Packers should extend Watson's contract because we need him to stay. In Watson, we trust. I like Christian Watson a lot. I think he's a great player. I think he's gonna be back. They figure like second half of the season, but he's ahead of schedule, so maybe I wouldn't rush him back. I feel like he's a game changer when he's on the field, especially. You're going to have the rookie that's kind of had some time to spread his wings and kind of like figure out the game a little bit, the NFL. And then you add Watson to that. It could be crazy, but I definitely wouldn't rush him back. But when he's on the field with that speed, the defense got to respect it. It changes. Like, it doesn't even matter his stats, but like what he does when he's running down the field full speed. And then that kind of middle opens up. And I think that's huge. So would you extend him or like, do you need to see something? Like, what if I don't want to do what ifs like with the injury thing, but you want Watson back or no?
Yes. I think it's everything you said. His intangibles, like just the things you can't coach, his speed, his size, like it's a different type of receiver that we have than anyone we have on the roster. Like he is a big guy. He is extremely fast. And obviously with an ACL injury, it's always the year after the first year back. So if he does come back next season, but I'm with Jesse, like, and you don't rush him. And the Packers are known for being cautious when it comes to this stuff. So I don't think they will, but letting him get some of that rust off this year. And this sounds very, not rude. I was gonna say a different word. I had to catch myself, but it's, he's coming off a big injury, so we could get him a little bit cheaper than if he was coming into the contract a little bit healthy. So even if it is just like, hey, we'll give you a 2-year deal, play through that, then we'll get you a bigger contract if you do well. But I think out of him and Dobbs of just willingness to come back to the team, I think Watson has the advantage there, and I also think him versus Dobbs on harder to replace. Watson, his skill set's hard to replace. Like Dobbs, a very good wide receiver, Mr. Reliable for us. But I feel like it's easier to have that kind of 3rd and 6 receiver. You need someone to run the right route and be in the right spot and catch it. I think that's a little bit easier to replace than just like a freak athlete like Christian Watson. So him being ahead of schedule is great for just him himself, but I think the Packers still will keep him on the same, like, dude, we'll work you a little bit harder in practice, but we're not going to rush you back to a game and let anything happen long-term with you.
Yeah, they got to make sure that that's healed up. We're going to wrap this up because I ain't going to lie to you, Jimmy. I have to pee pretty aggressively. And that's why I'm kind of moving around over here. I'm like a 12-year-old at a bus stop. You know what I mean? You ever been that guy? And yeah. And absolutely, I think Kraft and Musgrave are going to go crazy this year. It's going to be good. I'm happy. I'm excited about this season.
We haven't had a Musgrave yet, so bringing him to this offense with a surging
and like, dude, let's stay healthy a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm with you.
For me, get healthy. You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Check out Jimmy Christensen on Pack-A-Day Podcast twice a week. If you're, you could listen to other 5 days, probably be better off. But he also is on there.
You'll learn more. For sure, dude. You'll learn more.
A big shout to Pack-A-Day Podcast. Check out Jimmy on there. What days you on there?
I'm on the Friday episodes and the Sunday episodes. So the two worst days.
Yeah, so just ignore those shows and you're going to be in good hands on Pack-A-Day Podcast. I appreciate Tiffany. Appreciate everyone tuning in live and people who listened on the audio podcast tomorrow. You're in your car like, is this going to end? Is it really going to end? It's over now. All right, go Pack, go people. And now we have to have this. We got a music going on.